never alone. You are never alone.
Sorry, I just stopped you a few seconds ago, and you said to me your name is Shay.
Yeah.
Okay, Shay, and I asked you whether you're a Christian, and you said you're not a Christian. Is that right?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay, and do you believe in God?
I'm skeptical.
Skeptical. There is actually I can prove to you, Shay, that God exists. Okay, and there are 4 proofs of God existing. Okay, and I'll give you the 4 proofs. Number 1, Shay, the proof that God exists is something called the law of cause and effect. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, which means everything must have a cause, and the ultimate cause of everything is the creator, and that is God. Okay? Right. Logically, that sort of makes sense, that there must be ultimate cause of everything. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what you're thinking, Shay, is that who made God?
That's true.
Okay, so now the question is, who made God? Very easy to answer that. Who made God? And the way of thinking of who made God, what is the answer? Obviously we would say no one made God, but what is the logical proof that no one made God? Well, can I ask you, Shay, is the universe finite or is it infinite?
How do you mean?
Okay, does it go on forever or is it limited?
I would have thought gone on forever, but
Okay, most scientists, you say it goes on forever. Most scientists, Shay, say the universe is actually limited. Okay, it's finite. Now, and it started with a Big Bang. You've heard of the Big Bang Theory. Okay, now, you don't believe in it? Okay, well, the reason, okay, just scientific reasons why it does exist, why it did happen, is because the universe, they've proven, is actually expanding. It's getting bigger. And if it's getting bigger, then therefore they say it must have started because it was all together at one stage, and therefore it must have started with this initial explosion or the Big Bang. Not a noise, but that's what they say. That's what the scientists say. And this isn't just my opinion. That most scientists say this. In fact, all scientists say this. The universe is expanding and it started with the Big Bang. Sorry, Shay, can I ask you a question? Are you a student? Are you working?
yeah.
What are you studying? A levels or?
Finance.
Sorry?
Accounting and finance degree.
Accounting and finance degree. Brilliant. Okay, so you're a clever guy. Okay, if you're doing that, you must be, yeah, accounting, finance, yeah. Okay, what can I say to you, Shay, is that, yeah, so the first one is law of cause and effect, and God is, the universe is finite. God, is he inside the universe or outside the universe? We would say he's outside this universe, and if he's outside this universe, then he's outside the laws of space and time. The reason being, are the laws of space and time, is space and time connected or is it separate?
Connected.
It is connected, because the faster you travel in space, the slower you go in time. This is Einstein's theory of relativity. Okay, it's getting complicated, but the point being, no, it doesn't matter, but the point being, Shay, that space and time are connected. And also the laws of physics are within this universe. Okay, and what the scientists who accept this theory, who put forward this theory, they say that not only with the Big Bang did the universe come into being, but also the laws of physics came into being. Okay? And therefore, if a being is outside this universe, he's outside space and time. Make sense? Okay. Now, if he's outside space and time, that means that he doesn't have a beginning.
Yeah.
Make sense? Okay, so he doesn't have a beginning because he's outside space and time. Now, if he doesn't have a beginning, he has no end. Very importantly, no one has made him. No one needs to make him. Everything else is within the universe. There might be other things outside the universe, but certain things that we are aware of are within the universe, and therefore they must have a cause to make them come into existence. Make sense? Okay. Number 2, that's the first piece of proof. Second proof that God exists is something called, forget about the name, but it's called the teleological argument, which means everything is so clever and so complicated that it must have a intelligence behind it, a designer behind it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, because if you look at the universe, look at ourselves, look at our eyes, so clever, so complicated, our hearing, our hands, our bodies, look at the earth, how it moves, how the earth is moving through the universe at 50,000 miles an hour. Look, and the earth is rotating at a huge speed, and if we're standing on it, we're not feeling any vibrations, we're not seeing any movement. I mean, look, if your wheels on your car are not balanced, there's a little bit of error in it. Look at how much vibration you get. You can't drive it. You can't drive it 70 miles an hour. True? Yeah. But yet the Earth is moving through the universe at 50,000 miles per hour, and yet there's no vibration. There's no, you can't feel it. Isn't that amazing? Okay, that means that there is an intelligence behind this design. And who is that intelligence? Where does it come from? That is the Creator. That's what we believe. Does it make sense logically?
Yeah.
Okay, now the third piece of evidence that there's a creator is that there were a series of human beings, Shay. These were people like Abraham and Moses and Noah and David and Solomon and Joseph and Jacob, Jesus, and finally Muhammad. Now, how are they proof that there is a God? Their lives bore testament to the fact that there is a creator, Shay. For how is that? Number one, they were very, very honest people. You must know some people who are like really good blokes. You say, oh yeah, he's all right. He's never going to lie. He's never going to cheat. You can trust him. You know people like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's what they were like. These prophets of God were people you could trust because they were so honest and so decent. They would never do anything bad. Okay. Now, that was their lives. One. Secondly, they came with a message which was consistent. Every single one of these human beings, these prophets of God, said the same thing. They said, one, there is a God. Two, they came with good news and a warning. I'll tell you what that is in a moment. Okay. Thirdly, these messengers of God or prophets of God, Shay, they brought miracles to show people, to prove to people that they were indeed sent by God. Okay. Do you know what the miracles were that were given to Jesus?
Walk on water, from I remember. No.
Okay, the miracles that were given to Jesus, Shay, were the miracles that he performed by the power of God. For example, he brought the dead back to life. He cured the leper. He cured the blind. Okay, these are things that are not possible. I mean, okay, curing leprosy is possible today, but certainly bringing the dead back to life, curing the blind, wasn't possible then. It's not possible now. Okay, so these were things which were given by God to Jesus, peace be upon him, to show people that he was sent by God. Make sense? Okay. After Jesus, Shay, God sent another messenger, another prophet, who was given a miracle as great as the miracles given to Jesus. I would say a miracle which is even greater. Do you know what that miracle is? Okay. That miracle is a book called the Qur'an. Okay. On this leaflet, these reasons are written why it's a miracle. Okay, and I want to show you because it'll be easy for you to remember as well if I show you while I'm saying them. Number one, Shay, there are many scientific facts in the Quran. Okay, for example, embryology is mentioned in detail in the Quran. Do you know what embryology is? No. Okay, yeah, it is. Yeah. Embryology is the formation of the embryo in the womb of its mother. In other words, how a baby is formed. This is described in detail in the Quran. Okay. Now, a professor of embryology, Professor Keith Moore, when he read this, he's a professor in Canada, one of the Canadian universities. When he read this, he says that he couldn't have come from a human being, and he actually became a Muslim. Okay, it's described how a baby forms inside the womb of its mother is written in detail in the Quran. Now, how can a man walking in the desert 1400 years ago have described how a baby is formed in the womb? It's impossible. Okay, remember, it's a 1400-year-old book. It's not a 10 years ago or 50 years ago or 100 years ago. 1400 years ago. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, also in the Quran is mentioned, just to take two facts, the Big Bang Theory is mentioned in the Quran. God says that don't the disbelievers see that the heavens and the earth were one entity and God split them apart. This is mentioned in the Quran. Now, for the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to have said that 1400 years ago, that would have been something people would have thought, Muhammad, you're saying you're a messenger of God is something like crazy. You must be possessed. That's what they said to him. Or you must be mad. But for him to then say these sort of things, okay, would have made him even more appear crazy like. You see the point?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's just look at these facts. Now you'll see, Shay, how the facts are adding up. This book was given to a man who couldn't even read or write. Even if he could have read and written, he wouldn't have been able to read about these facts. These are recent discoveries. But he couldn't even read or write. Okay. The book has remained the same, Shay, for 1400 years. The book hasn't changed. It's exactly the same. You can go to the British Library and you'll see parts of the Qur'an exactly the same. Okay, isn't that amazing book?
That's one thing I do like about, I suppose, Islam and Christianity. There's too many different branches of Christianity, different versions of the Bible and that, which me personally I don't like.
You don't like the fact there are different versions of the Bible?
It's hard to kind of believe one sort of thing.
That's correct. And with the Quran, you only have one version and only one Quran anywhere you go in the world. Okay, now let's look at the facts here. No one has been able to produce a chapter like it, even though God challenges us to try. In the Quran, Shay, God says, if the whole of mankind, human beings, and the spirit world, which we call jinn, got together, they couldn't produce one chapter, which is a surah, which is only the shortest surah is 3 sentences. No one has been able to produce 3 sentences like the Quran. Isn't that amazing? Fact that for 1,400 years, no clever atheist, no clever Christian, no clever Jewish person has been able to produce 3 sentences in the Arabic language which match the style and language of the Quran. Is that amazing? It makes sense? Okay. This book does not contain a single contradiction, even though the book was revealed over a period of 23 years. This book has produced the largest religion, the largest following in the world. 1.6 to 1.7 billion people, not million, but billion people are Muslims in the world. And this isn't just something in the past, it's also today the fastest growing religion. Amazing? Many people, this book has the effect of changing people's lives forever. Amazing? Okay, now can you see the evidence is stacking up? If these are all true, and I wouldn't lie to you, wouldn't it make the Quran a miracle? Yes? So you agree that the Quran, if these are true, then the Quran is a miraculous book. Okay, now where could it have come from?
I suppose God's the only...
Okay, it can only be from God. The Christians might attack Islam by saying, oh, it might be from the devil. However, the Quran contains only good things. It talks about close families. It talks about helping people. It talks about charity. Okay, and you're studying economics. Did you say? Economics and finance. You can see in the world today with the credit crunch, the world is in a bit of crisis. Right? Now, Islam even has an answer for this. Do you know what the Islamic answer is? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, explained Islamic finance in detail. One principle of this, which is mentioned in the Quran, Shay, is that the giving and taking of interest is forbidden in Islam. So you have a profit and loss based system. Make sense? Much more sensible, much more logical, much fairer system. You see, a bank, an Islamic bank, if you like, would actually share the profit and loss with a company rather than just charging them a fixed interest. Makes more sense, doesn't it? Yeah? Okay, so from your point of view and economic point of view, you can see again Islam, how did the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, think of this idea 1400 years ago? Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did he talk about economics? Okay, now you've agreed the Quran's a miraculous book.
So how long is these are getting a bit...
Okay, your friends are getting a bit impatient. Okay, so I'll just be a couple of minutes then. Okay, okay. Can we just sum up? Do you agree that there is a God? After having seen this, you agree the Quran's a miraculous book, and if it's a miraculous book, it must have come with all the good things in it. It must have come from God. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Therefore, there must be a God. Would you agree with that?
I mean, me personally, I'm still a bit skeptical. I'm a bit more convinced, but I'm still a bit skeptical.
Bit skeptical. Okay, you're a bit skeptical, but okay, you need to read into it. So we'll give you a translation of the Quran, and you can see for yourself how these facts add up, how this evidence stacks up, and okay. But certainly you agree the Quran's a miraculous book. Okay.